always remind me. So we're going to spend the next half an hour or maybe a bit longer tuning into ourselves. And we're going to do it 5 times. We're going to approach from a different element. And because I've broken a bone, we're going to start with water. So take a few easy breaths, relax in the chair, lie down if you're lying down, and just notice the physical skeleton that contains you, that supports you, that holds your body in this place, wherever you are right now. So bones are accessible. Your forehead's a big bit of bone, your shins, the ribs. So just tuning in through your bones. The physical aspect of you that gives you the structure. You can't change the size of your bones. You can't change your bones, but we do know that, especially the big bones, your leg bones, the breastbone, can make stem cells. So the bones have a fundamental part in how you are now and tomorrow. So just noticing, how does your structure, your boniness feel? And do that however is easy for you. Some of us at the Shiatsu College got taught to do it photocopier style, Cliff Andrews, imagining from the top of the head down to the feet. I sort of have a bramble brain. I move all around and see which bits are calling to me. But just have a sense of your bones and anything that comes along with that. I'm going to draw it down. I use my blue pastel. How do your bones feel today? And then as you tune in on that sort of fundamental human-shaped bony structure, you might come across other bits. So like I just put wiggly lines where my shoulder is. What have you come across? How is your neck, your jaw? And what does it relate to? Does it relate to, well, any part that is calling you, any part of your bony structure? Oh, actually, my feet are a bit overused right now. And yes, so I've already named that in my feet, the overuse. And in my neck, it's a little bit like thinking too much. So what's going on for you? It's not just the physical bony structure, or is it? It might be. My shoulder stuff really was an accident. Whoa, and take another easy breath and just following that bony structure wherever it's taking you. You all know almost too much theory for this sort of work. But let the theory be clouds of information that you can play with rather than what is right and wrong. You're looking at your energetic structure, starting with the bones and the spine, and that ability to move forward, to bend, to go with the flow. And notice which of those is more right with you right now. Going with the flow or pushing yourself forward. So we're into the energy now. There's not a physical structure that defines that. And then there's something about the mind. Whoa, the mind. The mind has a whole role in our energetic being. And I've been playing with this for the last couple of weeks, thinking this is what I'd do tonight. And the more I played with it, the more my Chinese medicine got to be like springy balloons that were squished out here and there and got bigger and smaller depending how I was thinking in the moment. So if I was stomping across the field, thinking, right, we're going to think about water and the energy. Oh yeah, the mind and the nerves and the spine, and so there's sort of whole level of instinct. But then there's another aspect of thought forming and our actual belief system and how that works. And I firmly believe in paracetamol right now. So when I take my paracetamols at the right time, they work long before they've had a chemical time to work. And I know that's my mind. What things are working for your mind, affecting your chi body right now? What do you believe? I'm sure you all believe in positivity, accentuating the positive, staying with the positive, being good for us. All those wonderful things we do, like having a gratitude practice. So, from the mind, we can also step into something about the ancestral chi or the DNA, our connection to the blueprint of life. This has some sort of watery connection in Chinese medicine. And our spirit, the ancestral chi coming through the will of life, life's longing for itself. How does that affect your energy, thinking about your DNA right now? To be perfectly honest, it leaves me a little bit cold when I'm tuning into my own energy body. It's almost like I'm already me, so I can't play with my DNA very much. But maybe you're different. Maybe it is something for you. I'm going to do another bit of scribbling, thinking about those things I was saying. How does the water energy affect you? How does the DNA, your thoughts, your spine, your bones, anything else that you know about water, going with the flow, being yourself? Mhm. So you got another minute or so to stay with water. Anything else that comes up for you? We're going around this in a slightly Nicola-centric way today. So when you're ready, maybe get another piece of paper and we're going to move on to fire. The energy that I felt got most disturbed by falling was my fire. I got shocked. And that's really not in the physical being at all. But so we'll start with the fire. And the physicalness of our fire is our blood and our heartbeat, our physical being inside our red blood, the red-blooded nature of us as animals. So tuning into your heart, maybe put a finger on the heart or on the pulse. Have a sense of your heartbeat. Just tuning into your physicality through your fire. I'm not making a difference really between the heaven fire and the social fire. We'll mention them both as we go along. But just tuning into your heartbeat, your heart, your pulse, your fiery nature, your mammalness, your red-bloodedness, and just following that round your body, noticing your oh, I mustn't shrug my shoulders. That's one thing that hurts. Noticing that for yourself. There's a lovely Qigong exercise. I don't think we've ever done it on a Thursday night. It's a standing exercise. It's sort of got connections to Huagong, but I've come across it with other teachers. And you sort of stand in the animal body of yourself, love the animal body of yourself. And around the face, you get that difference between the yang coming up and over the head, your animal pelt, and the yin on the front of the body, the yin being much smaller. And you sort of feel into that red-blooded animal being of yourself. Maybe release your jaws and just feel that yin and yang of you. Maybe that doesn't help you step into the fire. Feel the heartbeat a bit more. Maybe it connects you to your immune system flowing with the blood. Maybe it connects you to the muscles and the pumping of blood through the meat of you. And then we'll just slip into this thing of shock. So, is there any part of you that has been shocked, that is still resonating with a bit of the fire? Is there any part of you that maybe wants to hide, to go inside, or push away that fiery energy? And then there's a basic thing about connection to other humans. Who do you reach out to? Your nearest and dearest? Who do you look after? Who do you hold hand in hand? Who do you hug? Who do you open to? All this sort of, who do you tell when you're shocked? All your hearty, emotional being. Who do you smile at? Who do you share your life's dreams and hopes with? And then we can step that up and have a sense of your own higher self. How do you get in touch with your higher self? I'm going to pause for a moment and draw a bit of that down. I haven't even drawn my heartbeat. Ugh. So thinking about your fire, your heart, your blood, your red-blooded animal self. Thinking about your emotional being, your connections to other beings. Who do you reach out to? Thinking if there's any shock in your system. And we're just going to start thinking about the higher self. We'll do a bit more of that in a moment. So fire. How is your fire body today? And like I said, the more I thought about the theory of this, the more the edges of it are very permeable. And we know some people who teach Chinese medicine put some bits in some parts, but we do know that the beating heart and the fire energy all come together and connect to something, the higher self, the Shen, the part of us that is spirit, the part of us that is spirit in daily life, the part of us that can connect to the oneness. And it's interesting, the Shen, this heart Shen, is sometimes referred to as a great Shen, but also sometimes referred to as the small Shen. It's the spirit of us, but it also connects to the Shen of everything, the big great Shen. So how does that go on your energy map? How do you feel that? And smile. And maybe there is a place here that just goes beyond the words. How do you connect to your sacred, your divine, your God, your goddess, whatever that is? Smile, hand on your heart. Where does that take you? So we're thinking about our own energy, how we reach out, how we receive, how we connect, how the blood courses in our veins. Anything else that might connect you to your fire energy. And smile and breathe and just take another minute. Hmm. Feels very funny doing things like this one-handed. Okay, when you're ready, grab another bit of paper or however you're going to do this. We're going to move into metal. I said this was a Nicola-centric order. So we know that metal is our lungs, our breath. So take a deep breath right now. How does that affect your energy? Change air, let the fire go. Take a deep breath. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that. Taking a deep breath is very one-sided right now. So I'm going to draw that down right away. White on white doesn't work, does it? And the other physical aspect of our metal energy is the skin. So just pay a bit of attention to your whole body. We do this great thing in the pre-heaven form, which is when we finish, we connect to every part of the skin. Some sense of really having a sense that we can contain the chi inside the physical being inside the skin, being able to hold the chi. Whereas the chi around us is more like a cloud and can get blown away in a breeze. So maybe rub your hands, rub your face, any other bits of skin that are handy, available. Oh, rub my poor broken shoulder and upper arm. Oh. Noticing the surface of you. Notice inside, is there any energetic feeling that comes with either the breath or the skin? And then allow your own knowledge of the energy to take you through and all these things that we're going to discuss, the breath also connecting us to the receiving and letting go. Ah, just before I did this accident, I had a wonderful idea for Lent. I was going to do an hour's tidy up in my house every day, just doing a lot of throwing out, taking stuff to secondhand shops and clearing away rubbish. I did 10 days, I think, and it was great. I was throwing lots of things away, cleared away terrible space underneath my stairs. It was full of old paint and rubbish. And then now I'm one-handed, I can't do that sort of thing. It's really hard. Anyway, so how do you cope with letting go? I'm not as good as I could be. How do you cope with receiving? And that could be just breathing in, getting gifts, breathing out, letting go of rubbish. Or are you just going to save it in case it's useful? And can you make space for something else to come in? And all those other aspects of metal energy. I know some people put authority in here, father figures. How do you cope with that? Rules? Do you fight against rules or do you like to have rules? Do you do things regularly or do you just do them when they occur to you? I'm definitely a fighter against rules. And how does that manifest in your energetic body? I know how it manifests in mine. Just have another moment if you want to do some drawing. Metal. And then the spiritual aspect of metal brings us back to the animal being of ourself. All animals have a allotted life, and so do we. We've done quite a lot of work here on looking at our life and our death. And I think accepting our death, being in touch with the Po, the metal spirit, is a really useful way of looking beyond this mortality, this being of me. But as I do it, I'm really conscious that things happen in my energy field. It forces me to the bridge between my ether body and my astral body. Of course, we're all going to die. Every one of us here on the screen and the people we know and love. Hopefully not soon. Hopefully none of you it is soon. And it will be when it is. And hopefully you've had a wonderful life. Another good reason for a gratitude practice. Accepting the life. I think I said this when we did one of the death sessions. I came across this poem that suggested you should write your hero's death song, which I did. I've written a song, not very good music, but quite a nice poem about gratitude for my life, so that when I am called home to the great place in the sky, wherever I'm going to go, when I'm called home, I will be able to sing my noble death song with joy and face the end of my holiday here on earth and move forward. So thinking about the end of your time on earth for a moment and notice what it does to your energy field. And we'll just have one more minute with our metal. When you're ready, shifting gear, we're going to the earth next. Maybe we're going to finish with wood because it's spring. Coming into your earth energy, very much your physicality, your muscles, your being, your groundedness. My feet are firmly on the floor right now. Even though it's a carpet, I can get a sense of the ground underneath. Feel your muscles, your being. And there's something about the donut theory of human beings, the digestion. There's a hole in the mouth that goes all the way through to the other end. And through that, we push the food and hopefully draw it into the being of us, just like other animals do. Ah, tuning into your digestion. Sometimes you might want to rub your tummy or have a sense of from the mouth all the way through, whatever way works good for you. Oh, now I've started rubbing my tummy. I'm going to do that. Have a sense of your physical body, your muscles, your digestion, your being, and your groundedness. Somewhere in there, feeling into your earthy energy body. Ooh. I just I just got a nice image for myself. Had to do a little drawing. And alongside the groundedness and the solid being that we are inside our skin, there's a whole world of giving and taking. Receiving food, maybe even imagine swallowing your favorite thing. Oh, I got given the most delicious raspberry chocolate Easter egg thing. That was tasty. Or maybe something healthy. I've also been drinking really nice miso bone broth. Very different flavors. Something that would make you go, mwah. Receive the taste of food. Then imagine someone you really, really love giving you a hug. Someone you know well, maybe someone you haven't seen lately, or someone you see all the time. Oh, imagine a really the hug that's going to almost make you cry because you feel secure and held and known. And receive words of wisdom, receive laughter, receive being with other people, and then flip that. We're going to give those things. You might cook for someone, you might give someone a hug, you might smile at someone, you might give someone words of encouragement. My next door neighbour is a Bristol Rovers fan, very keen. And I've started paying attention to Bristol Rovers and saying things to him about football. It's not for me at all. It's all for him. I'm giving him that because he's my neighbour and he loves them so much. What do you give to your friends, family, neighbour? Smile, sending out love into the world. Smile, receiving love back for yourself. Really in the earthy two-way giving and receiving. This is not a higher self hug. This is just people being people, getting on with our lives together. And then there's a whole part of earth energy that is about trying to understand and communicate and be with each other and understand what each other's trying to get at. So hard. Oh, especially if we go beyond our small communities into the big wide world. All the stuff that's happening in our world, so hard to understand. Trying to make sense, trying to conceptualize, trying to, yeah, understand, know what's going on, and making sense of that. That ye, the spirit of the earth, trying to understand. And then, even harder than what's going on in the world, trying to understand what's over the rainbow bridge. When our astral body takes us to the place we can only have metaphors for. What is the astral body bringing back for us? What do we know? How do we understand that? And the many, many religions, beautiful spiritual practices, ways of being sacred that help us try and drop into that understanding, our ye, knowing spirit. Take another minute and we'll just jot down anything you want to jot down or draw. I've got to add a little something here. When you're ready, last one. You know what's coming, the wood energy, of course. Sometimes, especially in the last few days, when I've been thinking about the physical wood energy body of me, I've really been in touch with the strings that hold it all together. The sinews, the tendons, my poor ripped tendon. Don't dislocate your shoulders. If you ever have a choice, don't do it. Of course, you don't have a choice. But thinking about your own tendons, ones at the back of the neck, the bit around the knee, the hips, where do the strings go? And it also made me start thinking about puppets like Pinocchio, that sort of string puppet. Or it doesn't have to be Pinocchio, it can be the beautiful gypsy doll. The strings within us that hold us together, that are not so squishy as the earth and not so solid as the bones. Noticing those stretchy bits. How are they for you today? Noticing all your sinews, all your tendons, ligaments, all the fascia. Oh, there's something that switches over. Sometimes fascia goes with the metal and the skin. Noticing how your body is, how the bits are pulled together, and our symmetry, our wooden energy. Is it lopsided, left, right, imbalances? How is your liver? Do you actually have a sense of your liver, or is it nice and healthily invisible from consciousness? And the spring greens, how does the lovely greening of the world come for you? I have a patch of wild garlic in my garden that I love making pesto with. So bright and so green. Have a sense of that lovely lemon juice, olive oil, and wild garlic. Nothing else. Mm. Maybe a bit of parmesan, or a few pine nuts. Tuning into the liver and the lovely healthy things you can do for your liver and the spring and the green, and then into this sort of energetic wood energy that is about knowing your space. So this whole thing about anger and frustration, that is a wood energy thing. Anger comes when your wishes and your space, your desires have been pushed up against. You don't get angry unless someone says, no, you can't, or you shouldn't, or that's not the rules, or whatever it is for you. So anger and frustration and the ability to say no. And then on top of that, there's a much more creative wood energy that lets you go, actually, this is what I really want to do, and dance with the way the world is. So play with your emotional wood, the difference between this side and that side. How does it look over there? What do you want? I've got to draw some green. Oh, and the final part of wood is our hun, our higher self, the part of us that exists in the oneness and is always in the oneness, the part of us that connects to all and everything. Also, the part of us that is connected to future generations, has come through, is our true life path, not necessarily from our DNA. Maybe you've had a spiritual teacher who's put you on the right path, or an awakening at some point. Maybe that's part of your wood energy. I think Pauline was definitely part of my spiritual teachers. There's no way we have any genetic relationship. I'm not American nor Japanese, but she was my spiritual teacher and has pushed me along the path to here, and I no doubt will push me further until you can see the book one day, my creative woody energy. So what is it for you? Where does your higher self, your hun, where is your path in life taking you? Not the DNA, but your spiritual path. Is there anything you need to jot down there? Okay, take another minute thinking about wood energy from the liver and the sinews up to your hun. Ah, beautiful.